Namaste. Welcome to this session with Vidya Nahar. Please consult your physician to ensure the suitability of the exercises in the following video for your specific needs. The creators and distributors of this video are not responsible for any injuries or damages caused to you by following the exercises demonstrated in this video. Thank you for your interest. Good luck and best wishes. Please keep up your breath and posture awareness throughout this practice. Let's get started. We'll start sitting on the floor today. And just keep your block near you. You can always sit on the block if sitting like this gets too much. Close your eyes. Bring your awareness to this place that you're occupying right now. Feel your weight equally distributed on both sit bones. Keep your shoulders relaxed, back is straight. And while there's downward pressure on your sit bones, feel the upward lift in the spinal column. Keep reaching up through the crown of your head, separating your vertebrae. Imagine there's a string going through the crown of your head, lifting you up while your sit bones are glued to the mat. So keep reaching up through the crown of your head. This is also elongating your neck. Keep the body relaxed, so no tension in your shoulders, hips, glutes, thighs, hamstrings, everything relaxed. With this awareness of body, notice how the breath is flowing in and out of that inner space. Where it is in the body, if it is in your nose, mouth, throat, chest, abdomen. Feel it in your extremities, toes, fingertips, crown of your head. Inhale, smoothly evolving into exhale. Exhale, smoothly evolving into inhale. Incoming breath is energizing, outgoing breath is cleansing. Both are equally important. So remain thankful for each while not getting stuck in either of those. Too much inhalation in the body brings tension, and too much exhalation brings lethargy. So ideally keep your inhalation and exhalation of equal length, one flowing smoothly into the other, one completing the other, one leading the other, one necessitating the other, one complementing the other. Inhalation is inspiration, exhalation is expiration, and they complete our respiration. So there are countless cycles of inhalation, inspiration, life, exhalation, expiration, death. Life and death, life and death. Remaining neutral, though these are just phases. This is not end of anything. So just keep moving. This is the constant change that's happening all around us, inside of us. Observe it all as a witness. With this awareness of body and breath, invite your mind to be a part of this practice. Establish the intention of your being here. Maybe you are here to learn something new about yourself, or let go of something that has been bothering you, or reinforce whatever you have been practicing, or restore your equilibrium. Test your strengths, challenge your limitations. Or you are here because your practice allows you to feel focused, strong, flexible, at peace with yourself, with your surroundings, happy, healthy, open to new possibilities. Whatever it is that brings you here, set it in your own words, make it your own practice, and release it. Let it happen at its own pace. Our job is just to practice, let the universe deliver the results. And now switch your legs, so bring the inside leg out before we do the eye muscle stretches. So you just switch your legs so you get a different ankle, knee, hip stretch. And without turning your head, Look straight up to the ceiling like it's a 12 o'clock position. We'll make a clock with the eyes and look at the tip of your nose. Just the eyes moving. These are your eye muscle stretches. Look at your right upper corner, 1 o'clock, and to the tip of your nose. Lower than 1 on the right side, 2 o'clock, tip of your nose. In line with your nose to the right side, 3 o'clock, tip of your nose. Lower than 3 on the right lower corner, 4 o'clock, tip of your nose. Lower than 4 on the right side, 5 o'clock, tip of your nose. Straight below your nose, 6 o'clock, tip of your nose. Left lower corner, 7 o'clock, tip of your nose. Higher than 7 on the left side, 8 o'clock, tip of your nose. In line with your nose to the left side, 9 o'clock, tip of your nose. Left upper corner, 10 o'clock, tip of your nose. Higher than 10 on the 11 side, on the left side, 11 o'clock, tip of your nose. Straight above your head one more time, 12 o'clock, tip of your nose. Straight ahead in front of you, as far in the front as you can see. Exhale to the tip of your nose. Make 3 circles with your eyes in one direction like you're drawing the periphery of the clock. Make it as big as you can. Go the other way 3 times so you're sharpening that peripheral vision. Alerting your brain in the process. Your eyes are directly attached to the brain. They play an important role in our balances. Now rapidly blink your eyes several times, releasing the tension from eyes, eyebrows, forehead. Keep breathing evenly throughout all this. Then with your eyes open or closed, turn your head to your right. Feel the stretch in the left side of your neck. Shoulders relaxed, back is straight. Inhale center, rotate your head to the left. With your exhale, stretches in the right side of your neck. Neck is a very vital, delicate joint in the body. So be extra careful, deliberate anytime you're dealing with your neck. Come back to the center. Drop right ear to right shoulder with right hand. Pull your head down. Walk your left hand away from you. Feel the stretch in the left side of your neck. If your eyes are open, look at a point on the ceiling. If your eyes are closed, focus between your 2 eyebrows. Come back to the center, drop left ear to left shoulder with left hand, draw the head down to the left shoulder. Walk your right hand away from you. Stretches in the right side of your neck. Remember to breathe. Exhale, stomach in. Inhale, relax the stomach. Come back to the center. Drop your head behind you. Feel the stretch in your throat. Teeth are slightly apart, tongue is relaxed, face is soft, mouth is closed. Slowly bring your chin down towards your throat. Feel the stretch in the root of your neck. Keep pressing your chin down, massaging your thyroid. Shoulders are relaxed. Back is straight. Roll your head up towards your right with your inhale. Make it a slow, thorough, deep neck rotation all the way towards the top. Down towards your left with your exhale. Finish it to the center. Reverse. Take it up towards your left with your inhale. Another slow, thorough, deep neck rotation down towards your right with your exhale. Face front, hands by sides, hold the shoulders, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift and roll your shoulders back 3 times. This is also helping your back, not just your shoulders. Now lift and roll your shoulders forward 3 times. Take your arms up and back, full arm circles. Reach through your fingertips, lengthening your spine. Forward rolls 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Right hand behind you, swing forward but look back at your arms. Follow your arms with your head, neck and eyes turning back. And go with your backstroke swimming. Again, look back, turn back. Energy moving through your spinal column. As you face front, palms facing down in front of you. And put your feet together, knees apart. So opening those hips and open your arms again. Reach out in circular fashion like you're swimming with breaststroke arms. Inhale out, exhale in. Go the other way. Apart, together. Keep pressing your knees down, sitting up tall. Then palms facing the sky, again out and in. Reach from your heart into the world like you're sharing your gifts, your joy, love, compassion. And then go around the world, gathering the same into your heart from the world. Inhale, open, exhale in. You have to give in order to receive and receive in order to give. Now hands to shoulders. Before that, if you have the block, place it between your 2 feet or your cushion or any roll of blanket. Hands to shoulders, elbow circles. Exhale together, inhale apart, together, apart, together, apart. Go the other way. Inhale out, exhale in, apart, together. One last time. Now make your block flat. So you're opening your hips a little bit more. Elbows, forearms, palms together. Lift with your inhale, lower to the sides with your exhale. Inhale, lift, lower with your exhale. Shoulders are the most mobile joints in the body. One more time. Up and down. Go the other way, out to the side, down in the front. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. One last time, lift and lower. Now rotate your block sideways. So opening your hips even more in the process, arms to the front and open to the sides like you're opening a gate. Exhale, center. Inhale as you open, exhale in. One last time, open. Now roll your arms back at the shoulder level and forward. External rotation, internal rotation. So rotation is happening at your shoulder, not just this wrist. One more time, roll back and forward. From there, just take your hands behind you and add a back bend. So you're reaching back with your fingers, turning back, lifting your heart, hold it there, breathe. Again, keep pressing your knees down, hands down, opening your heart. As you face front, walk your fingers back and bring them towards the front, wherever you can reach in the front. You may also remove this block and place your hands on the block if your hands are not on the floor. Wherever you reach, keep reaching forward, so stretching that lower back region. Then come up again, facing front, arms parallel to each other. Draw your shoulders back, forward, retract, protract. One more time, pull back, forward, arms up, lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Again, I'll sit sideways. You can stay where you are. So from there, take your arms back, forward, back, forward, back, palms together. Bend at your elbows and extend. Reach the root of your neck. Bend, extend. One last time. Bend, extend. Interlace your fingers. Look up towards the sky. And now remove your block. So I'll face you. Open your legs all the way. Keep your feet flexed. Legs are active. Lift up your heart. Keep reaching up. And then add a forward fold with your exhale. Wherever you reach forward, I'm just going to slightly move back here on my mat. And just keep going forward, keeping your feet flexed. Hinge at your hips and go a little bit deeper and deeper. Then take your arms to the right upper corner. Inhale. The right back corner. Exhale. Left front. Inhale. Left back. Exhale. Left front, inhale, left down, exhale, finish it to the center. Reverse left upper corner, inhale. Left back, exhale. Right front, inhale. Right back, exhale. Right front, inhale, right down, exhale, coming to the center, all the way to the top, inhale, and open your arms in the back. Exhale, round your back, draw the stomach in. Again, inhale as you open your arms. Exhale, round your back, draw the stomach in. One last time, inhale as you open, and exhale, round your back. Now making big circular motions, stirring a big pot in front of you 3 times in one direction. Keep going. Go the other way. Exhale forward, inhale in. Continue. One last time. Then bring your legs to the front. Place your block between your 2 feet and hold on to your towel or your strap, whatever you have in your hands. Or if you have a scarf, and just lift up your arms, lift up your trunk, sitting up tall. So your feet are holding on to the block, and you keep reaching up with your arms like your trunk is elongated. You're holding on this strap here. Keep it straight up with your arms as close to the ears as you can. So not a big V. Bring your hands closer to the ears, straight lines up, above your shoulders, above your hips, and reach up. So at the same time, don't tense your neck, your shoulders. Keep lifting your arms up all the way from your sides of your trunk, from your hips, and not necessarily just tensing up in the shoulders. So shoulders are relaxed, but you are elongating the trunk. Notice the difference, and just stay there, hold. Remember to breathe. And keeping this grip between your 2 feet and holding on to that strap tightly, row your boat forward and back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, row it forward. One more time. Inhale, up, and exhale. Now go the other way. Down, forward, up, back. Down, forward, up, back. Down, forward, up. This time when your arms are up, row your boat to your right and top. Exhale to the left, inhale to the top, to your right and top, left and top. One last time, right and up, left and up. Now put your strap down to the side, remove your block. Bending your knees, bring your arms to the front and lift up yourself and sit back. If this is too much, you can also lift up with your hands to support you. Otherwise, up and down. So just kind of rocking. Keep lifting your sit bones up. Again, I'll show you from the side. So just like this, lift up and down. This time when you lift up, raise your heels and raise your arms. So we are in this toe balance, again activating the bottoms of the feet. Now press your heels down and heels up. Heels down, heels up. One more time, heels down, heels up. Now keeping those heels up, slowly start lifting your sit bones. Take your time, slowly coming up into this standing position. Your heels are still up, and lift up your heart. Find this balance, so moving from that sitting position into the vertical standing upright position. Breathe. As you lower your heels, bring your hands down from your sides and go all the way down towards the floor like a swan dive down, and raise your arms one more time. Inhale. Adding this back bend, bring your hands to your heart, lift your right knee in your chest and hug that right knee. Find your balance. Keep pressing your left foot firmly down as you hold this balance. Breathe. Open the right knee to the right side, push to the heel of your left palm and open the right hand to the right side. Let it go. Keep standing tall. You're pushing your both arms out. Find your balance. With your left hand, bring the right knee in Turn to look back at your right hand. Again, find your balance. Remember to breathe. Keep standing tall on that left leg. As you face front with your right hand to the right knee, with your left hand pick up your foot towards your left thigh, standing tall. So your left leg is the working leg. This is your standing half lotus. When you are ready, bring your right hand from your right side behind towards your left elbow or towards your right foot and hold it there. Find your balance. If you want to reach for support, reach for support. Free up your left arm when you are ready, left arm reaching up. Find your balance. You can always keep a stool or a chair nearby or stand by a wall. Your right hand is behind you. Hold it there. So you can keep your right hand by the rib cage if you need to. And bring your right foot to the right side. With your left foot sliding back, let it slide back with your right knee bent. Both arms out in line with your shoulders. Warrior 2. Look back at your left hand for a second and look at your right arm and hold this warrior 2. Right elbow, knee, ankle in almost straight line. Breathe. Now rotate your palms towards the ceiling and go down with your left hand reaching your left knee, right hand going back. Hold it there. Breathe. Keep reaching up. Take your left hand from behind towards your right thigh now, right rib cage. And keep pressing your left shoulder back. Remember to breathe. Bring your right hand also behind you with your both hands interlacing in the back. Turn towards your right knee, your hands lifting up in the back. Go down with your head towards your right knee into the humble warrior. Start lowering your head to the inside of your foot wherever you can go down. Breathe. As you lift up yourself, stretch out your right leg, right hand by the side of your right foot, or you may place your hand on the block and raise your left arm. So we are in this triangle stretch. Trikonasana. Look at your left arm with your right palm either on the floor or on the block. Continue breathing. Keep reaching with your left palm towards the ceiling. Left hand to the floor, raise your right arm, look at your right arm, hold it there, revolving triangle. Keep straightening your right leg, keep pushing your left palm fully down. Bring your right hand by the side of your right foot, bend the right knee, pivot your back foot so your left heel is up and we are in this lunge-like position. If you want to drop the left knee, you may drop it. Otherwise, come into this lunge position, high lunge position. With your left heel up this time. Weight is on the right leg. Lift up your heart, look up to the sky. Remember to breathe, hold. Add this back bend. And again, the longer we hold these stretches, the more we benefit from these. So you're strengthening the right leg. Now add a twist to the right side. Left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Look towards the ceiling to your right side. Hold it there, to your right side, to your right. Whichever leg you have in the front, you're going to turn to the outside of that leg. Keep breathing. Bring your both hands down to the floor by the sides of that right foot and extend your right leg back. Come into the plank position. Maintain your shoulders over your wrist, chest between your two palms. Don't let your lower back sink like this, so keep it up. Engage your core, maintain your hips in line with your shoulders. Lift up your hips a little bit higher. Yes, a little bit higher in line with your shoulders. Yes, not higher than your shoulders. This is not a downward dog. It's a plank. Move the body weight forward. Position your chest even more forward without dropping your lower back. Yes, lift up that lower back. Lift up your stomach in to support your lower back. And drop your knees. Bend your elbows, so don't go down by dropping your thighs and your stomach. You initiate the move at your chest by bending your elbows and go down with your chest coming down, chin coming down. 2 feet, 2 knees, 2 hands, chin and chest. 8 limbs on the floor. Elongate your spine. Keep the tops of your feet flat. Lift up your heart into the cobra. Keep pressing the palms down to lift up your head. Remember to breathe. Then flip your toes underneath and exhale, downward facing dog. Hips up, heels down. Adho Mukhi Svanasana. Keep pressing your chin to the throat. Throat towards your chest, chest to the thighs. Lower your heels towards the floor. For a second, bend your knees and press your chest back more towards your thighs. Breathe. And now drop that left knee to the floor. Your left knee down. I'm doing your mirroring. Your left knee down. Lift your right leg in the back. Your right leg and your left arm. So opposite arm and leg elongated for you. Hold it. Your right leg and your left arm. Keep reaching. Imagine left arm. Hold it there. Keep your arm and leg parallel to the floor. Imagine somebody is pulling them in the opposite directions for you. Then round your back. Bring your elbow towards your knee. So working those inner obliques. Your left elbow to your right knee. Hold this balance. Breathe. Elbow to the knee. Bring it in. Extend your arm and leg one more time. This time bring your left hand to the right foot. Look over your left shoulder. Draw the foot towards you. At the same time your foot is equally pushing back into the hand. Opposite hand to the foot. Left hand to your right foot. Find your balance. Bring your left hand to the floor under your shoulder. Right hand to the right foot and look straight ahead. When you have same hand, same leg, look ahead. Right hand to the inside of your right foot. As you draw the foot in, let your foot equally push back into the hand. Right hand, right foot. Same hand, same foot, yes. Right hand, right foot and look straight ahead. Remember to breathe. Then bring your right foot right by your left knee and bring your left foot forward. Drop in your head, exhale. Raise your arms, inhale. And just face front one more time. So now bring the left knee in your chest. Standing tall. Hold it here. We're doing the other side now. Keep standing tall on that right leg. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Remember to breathe. Keep pointing your left foot down. Right foot is planted firmly. Open the left knee to the left side. Push to the heel of your right palm. Push to the heel of your left palm. Keep your arms in straight line. Notice if there's a difference between your two legs. You're strengthening your standing leg. Right leg, the glutes. It's also strengthening your core muscles. Now with your right hand, bring that left knee in. Turn to look back at your left hand. Feel this twist in your stomach, in your spine, in your neck. Keep looking back to the left side. Continue breathing. So this is excellent for building bone density, especially if you are runners, walkers, bicyclers, dancers, sports people. It's good to have the strength in your legs that you can stand on that leg. Facing front with your left hand to the left knee, with your right hand pick up your foot and press that left knee down. Again, keep standing tall on that right leg without leaning, bending. Right hand by the foot, take your left hand behind you towards the right rib cage or towards your foot. Wherever you reach is fine. You're just opening that left side of the chest again. When you can free up your right arm, take your right arm up. Keep reaching up. Dig your right heel deeper down as you reach up with your right hand. Remember to breathe, hold. Exhale, stomach in, inhale, relax the stomach. Your left hand is behind you to the rib cage. Yes. Then let your left foot slide down to the left side, arms out. So we are doing this warrior 2. Maintain this right angle between your 2 feet. Right foot to the front, left foot to the side. For a second, look back at your right arm and then look at your left arm to make sure they're in straight line with each other. Hold. Keep your focus steady on that left middle fingertip. We are all warriors in this inner battlefield, conquering our inner enemies, fears, hatred, ego, anger, jealousy, Agreed. Turn your palms towards the ceiling and take your right hand down, left arm up. So we are in this reverse warrior. Keep bending that left knee. And now take your right hand all the way towards your left thigh from behind towards that rib cage. So again you're pressing that right shoulder back, opening the chest. Continue breathing. No matter how much we win, conquer on the outside unless we have conquered the inside. Whatever we do outside doesn't matter. And once we have won the inside, again whatever we do outside doesn't matter. Take your left hand behind you also, interlace your both fingers and keep hinging forward at your hip with your hands tied in the back. Either you stay here with your chest towards your thigh, humble warrior, or slowly start bringing your head down to the inside of your foot and hold, breathe. As you come back up, stretching your left leg, bring your both hands by the sides of your left foot and lower your head to that left leg. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Keep your left leg as straight as you can. Remember to breathe. You can always use your block if you need to for your hands. So now raise your right hand towards the ceiling for your triangle stretch. Stack your arms in straight line, right arm closer to the ear, not by your hip. See if it is 90 degrees to the ceiling. Keep straightening that left leg but don't lock the knee. Continue breathing. Exhale, stomach in. Inhale, relax the stomach. Right hand towards the foot, or again use your block. Left arm up, look at your left arm. So we are in this revolving triangle. Remember to breathe. Exhale, stomach in. Inhale, relax the stomach. Bring your left hand to the floor, bend your left knee, pivot your back foot, slide that right leg back. If you need to drop the right knee, that's always okay. Remember, you all have right leg back. I am doing your mirroring. And slowly start lifting your arms up, coming into the lunge. So again, putting more weight on that left leg at the same time, stretching your right leg back. So you have the option of keeping the right knee down instead. Hold it there. Keep lifting your heart up. Same even diaphragmatic breathing continues. It's not the complication of pose, it's the evenness of your breath that is important. Now bring your right elbow to the outside of the left thigh and palms in the prayer pose, looking to the left side into this twist. So I'll just show you for a second that hands are like this to the left side, to the outside of your left leg. Hold it there, breathe. Again, you may continue with your to the left side, to your left. Yes, whichever leg is in the front, you turn to the outside of that leg. Bring your both hands by the sides of your left foot again and bring your left leg back. So we are into the plank again. Move the body weight forward. Keep your shoulders over your wrist and stomach engaged to support the lower back. So that means don't sink in your lower back like this. Lift it up. Engage your core. Keep pulling your stomach in to support your lower back. It's also strengthening your upper body. Again, building that bone density. Breathe. And again, moving your body weight forward. Either you drop the knees this time, or without dropping the knees, if you can go for the full push-up, do that. Chaturanga push-up. 4 limbs instead of 8 limbs down. And then lift up your heart. This time feet flat and everybody lift up your knees and thighs off the floor. So we are in this upward facing dog. And draw the feet closer. Keep looking up towards the ceiling. Remember to breathe. Flip your toes underneath and exhale, downward facing dog one more time. Lower your heels, lower your head.
more than before. Chin to the throat, applying that chin lock. Massaging your thyroid, stretching the sides of your trunk. So a lot of things are happening at the same time. Breathe. And again, as you move your body weight forward, this time drop the right knee to the floor and take your left leg back. So right knee down and left leg back, then you bring your right arm to the front. Hold it there, so it's opposite arm and leg elongated one more time. Your weight is on your left arm. Right arm is to the front, left leg to the back. Just feel this stretch, diagonal elongation. Then round your back, bring your elbow to the knee with your exhale and just hold this inner oblique work. Breathe. Exhale, stomach in, inhale, relax the stomach. One more time, extend your arm and leg. Now bend your left knee and with your right hand reach behind you towards that left foot, look over your right shoulder. Keep lifting your foot up. Your hand is on the pinky toe side of your foot, outside of your foot. As you draw the foot in, let your foot equally push back into the hand. And you keep looking back. Remain as steady as you can. You're strengthening those muscles in your arms, in your core. Now right hand to the floor under your right shoulder. Left hand to the inside of your left foot. Keep lifting your foot up. Look straight ahead. When you have same hand, same leg, don't look back, look ahead. Breathe. Left hand to the floor, left foot forward between your two hands and bring your right foot forward. Drop your head, exhale. And again, swan dive up, inhale. Hands to your heart, exhale. So again, facing front, we're going to start with the tree pose this time. So you shift your weight to the left leg, bring your right foot on the left inner thigh. And hands to your heart. Option, you can stand by the support of the wall or keep a chair or a stool nearby to find this balance. Raise your hands towards the ceiling like the branches of the tree slowly rising. If you can turn your head to look up to the ceiling, do that. And if you can open your arms into the big V stretch, do that like the branches of the tree slowly expanding. Option here, you may keep your right foot more by the ankle, so the toes are on the floor but heel is up. You still have more weight on the standing leg. Then lower your hands in line with your shoulders like you're pushing both arms away. T stretch. Dome of the tree expanding. Continue breathing. Reach for your right big toe with your right hand, or you may reach for your knee and then extend the leg to the side, or you can hold on to that leg by the knee, if not by the foot. Or don't hold on to the leg but just extend the arm and leg to the side. Either way, either you hold it by the foot, by the knee, or don't hold it. Now bring that knee again to the front. With your left hand you hold on to the knee or the foot, extend the leg to the front and turn to look back to the right, adding another twist. So I'll show you from the side like this. Hold it, extend. If your hand and foot are not together, reach for the knee or just extend your arm and leg without holding on to the leg. You decide, breathe. Now bring this right foot behind you and hold on to the inner arch of your foot. This is how it's going to look. You don't need to turn to the side. You can keep facing me. I'm just turning sideways so you can see the move in the back, because if I'm facing you, you will not see what's happening in the back. So your right hand to the right foot and keep lifting this foot up. At the same time, your left arm is reaching up. Feel this activation in your right quad, right hip flexor. Now cross your right foot over your left knee. Hands to your heart, sitting down in this cross-legged chair. Option, you can always keep your foot crossed on the floor instead. Sit back. When you are ready, extend your arms to the front. Hold it, breathe, keep hinging deeper at your hips. Not so much pressure on your knee, but sitting back. Bring your hands down towards the floor with your right foot wrapped around this left shoulder, both hands on the floor. If you want to put your body weight forward and lift up this left leg, do that. If it is too much, just put your body weight forward, bending your elbows. Then bring your right foot next to the left foot. Drop your head. Take your arms up to the sides. Inhale. Hands to your heart. Exhale. Left foot to the right inner foot. And bring your foot on the inside of your inner thigh. So we're doing the other leg again, strengthening those legs. When you are ready, reach up with your hands. And you may find one side to be different than the other. That's okay, just observe. The more you start noticing it, the more all these imbalances will start self-correcting, auto-correcting. You don't need to put so much effort in correcting if you just observe. Then open your arms into the V stretch. Keep lifting from the sides of your trunk, not just from your shoulders. Reach. Then lower your hands to the side, but you maintain this lift in the sides of your trunk. You just lower the arms. Breathe. Keep pressing through the heels of your palms. When you are ready, reach for your left big toe with your left hand. Extend the leg to the side like the branch of the tree coming out again. Or you can hold on to the leg by the knee, or don't hold on and just extend. So several ways you can modify. Breathe. If you can hold on to that foot, do that. Keep standing tall with your right leg. Now bring that left knee in. With your right hand you reach for the left big toe or your knee. Extend the leg to the front as you turn to look back. Hold it there. Again, keep standing tall with your standing leg. It's okay to bend the lifted knee. I'll show you from the side. You can stay where you are. So keep standing tall, arms in line with your shoulders. Hold, breathe. Then bring your left hand to the left foot in the back, right arm reaching up. Keep lifting your foot up, not so much leaning in the front, but more lifting in the back. Hold. Remember to breathe. So we did weight bearing work with the arms today, with the planks, push-ups. Weight bearing work with the legs, hip opening work with the seated warm-ups. Then cross your left foot over your right thigh, hands to your heart, into the cross-legged chair. Ekapada Utkatasana. Again, keep sitting down but not forward with your knees, but you put your weight back. I'll show you from the side. Don't push your knee forward. You sit back by hinging at your hips. When you're ready, extend your arms to the front and go deeper into this cross-legged chair pose. Continue with what you're doing. Hold. Then bring your elbows to the inside of the left foot, and then underneath that left knee, palms to the floor. Again, you put your body weight forward. Those of you want to lift up this right foot, do that. If that is too much weight bearing for your hands, you can simply bend your elbows, put your body weight forward. So whichever is right for you. Then right foot down and left foot down. Now we're going to just stay here, separate your feet. Put your palms together, elbows pushing into the knees. Hold it there, keep your back straight. So don't lean forward, don't let your elbows come in front of your thighs. They are more on the insides of your thighs. Keep your back upright. Press through the heels of your palms. Keep your feet as flat as possible. If it is too low of a squat, you can come in the half squat. You can always modify. Hold it there, breathe. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, and again connect with your breath. This is excellent for digestion, elimination. Keep breathing. We're going to add another arm balance to this. So take your hands from inside out of your feet. Inside out. If this is all you want to do today, this is fine. Or you can start walking your feet a bit closer, hands a little bit more back, feet closer. Now walk your feet to the front. If you can lift up one foot, do that, other foot or both feet into the firefly or Tiktibhasan. And again, all of this is a matter of practice. If it's not happening today, it will happen some other time. Or even if it doesn't happen, it's okay as long as you feel the weight on your arms. Put your feet back in, remove your hands from underneath, and now drop your knees to the mat. So you all turn now sideways on your mats like this, so that you have full stretch of the mat. We're going to do another arm balance. So turn your fingers towards you like this. So right now if your hands are this way, you rotate them outward and then towards you. Like this, external rotation. Keep them so that you are again on all fours, shoulders over your wrists and hips in line with your knees. And now just sit back. Without moving your hand, just sit back. Feel the stretch in your wrist. Sit as back as your body allows you. Then you move the body weight forward, bend your elbows and lift up your knees. Put your body weight forward. If this is too much weight bearing, you can keep the knees down, but just put your body weight forward. Then everybody put your knees down and sit back one more time. So again, listen to your body. You can just do this back and forth to strengthen those wrists. Stretch your wrists, bend your elbows and put your body weight forward again. Like you're holding the weight of your body on your arms. One last time, sit back. This time as you come forward, lift up your knees and your feet when you are ready. So this is your peacock balance, and again it may not happen today, and that's okay. You put your body weight forward and lift your legs into the peacock. So that's a lot more weight bearing work for your arms. Remember not to keep the arms straight. If you are doing the peacock, you have to learn to bend your elbows and then put your body weight forward. So with practice. Then drop your knees and sit back, stretch your arms. Sit back in the child's pose, stretch your arms. Turn your palms towards the ceiling. Press all 10 fingernails to touch the mat. Breathe. Bring your both hands by the sides of your feet. Bring the top of your head to the floor. So hands are resting, arms resting. Crown is down. You lift up your hips into the rabbit pose. Chin to the throat. Massaging your thyroid. Hold, stretching the root of your neck. Then bring your hands by the sides of your head, lift yourself up. From there, raise, I'm doing same as you, so just raise your right arm, look at your right arm, hold. And slide your right hand through your left arm all the way. Drop the right ear to the floor completely. Drop your right arm, drop your right shoulder. So your weight is on the right hand. Raise your left arm and look at your left arm. Hold it there. Then bend your left elbow behind your back. Keep pressing your left shoulder up. And your right hand is fully stretched on the floor in the front. Your weight is on that right arm, right shoulder. We did that weight bearing work with the arms. So just stretching your shoulders, breathe, stretching your bicep. Raise your left arm one more time down to the floor and bring your right hand on the floor. Now shift your weight to the right hand as you lift your left arm. Your left arm up, whichever arm you did before, to the other arm. And slide your left arm through the right leg, drop it all the way to the floor. So now your entire left shoulder, left arm is on the floor. Resting your ear, raise your right arm. Look at your right arm, keep it perpendicular to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow behind your back, press your shoulder up to the ceiling and just stay there, hold. Even diaphragmatic breathing, exhale, stomach in, inhale, relax the stomach. Raise your right hand down to the floor and push yourself back up again with your left hand. Walk your hands back towards you and legs to the front. Scoot to the front end of your mat and place your block between your 2 feet. Keeping your back upright. Raise your arms, inhale, reach towards the ceiling. Add that forward fold, elongating your trunk, stretching your hamstrings, stretching the sides of your trunk. Go forward, lower your head. Look ahead at your block and go deeper. Look ahead at your block and go deeper. Hold it there, stay there, continue breathing. Exhale, stomach in, inhale, relax the stomach. Raise your arms, inhale. Slowly start going down, lower back, middle back, upper back. As you go down, you start lifting your legs up towards the ceiling. Upper back down, but you keep the head up here and just reach towards the feet. Hold it there, breathe. Keep your feet parallel to the ceiling, legs perpendicular, and just keep lifting up, hold. Now bring your both hands to the outside of your right leg and just stay there. Both hands reaching the right calf on the outside. Hold it there, breathe. And both hands to the outside of the left calf, just reach, working those inner obliques. Keep reaching, keep your block firmly between your 2 feet. Hold. And resting your upper body. Bring your hands by your sides. You can lift up your legs even more and take those legs still holding on to the block. Pointing your toes up, pointing your block up. Walk your hands down the back. Keep holding on to the block. As you bring the legs up, hold. When you're ready, take your legs overhead with your block. Take it all the way back. Breathe. You're still holding on to the block. If your legs are not all the way up, if your tailbone is not up, you can support your lower back with fist underneath your back. So you can lift up little bit, and that's okay too, wherever you can lift up. Even if your tailbone is on the floor, that's okay too. You can still lift up the legs with the block between your 2 feet. So just lift up your legs, hold. And bring your legs back towards the ceiling, support your back, bring your feet down towards the floor, all the way into the bridge position. See how that goes, just drop to the bridge, breathe, you're still holding on to the block with your feet. Maintain the bridge. If you're ready to go into the wheel, hands by your shoulders and lift yourself up. The whole time you're still holding on to the block. Remember to breathe. Keep holding on to the block. Again, this is strengthening the shoulders, tightening the upper back, opening your chest. And go down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Remove your block. Stretch out your arms and legs. Get that full body stretch. Point your toes and fingertips away from the center. Flex your feet, flex your wrist. Separate your toes, your fingers, make your ankle and wrist rotations. Circle your feet 3 times one way, 3 times the other way. Let your feet fall off to the corners of the mat. Bring your hands down by your hips, about 8 inches away from your hips. Fingers curl up towards the sky. Nod your head up and down like you're saying yes. And roll your head side to side like you're saying no. Release tension from your neck, rest your head comfortably in the center. With your eyes closed, starting at the top of your head, establish your intention to relax. Make it a conscious process of letting go of all the thoughts, worries, desires, emotions, stress. Move your awareness through physical body, one body part at a time, making sure each and every body part is relaxed. Relax your forehead, let go of the wrinkles. Soften your eyebrows, space between eyebrows, eyes, nostrils, mouth. Put a little smile in your lips. Relax your chin, neck and throat. Soften your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, palms, fingers and fingertips. Keep your breathing deep, even, slow, quiet, without pauses, without jerks, through your nostrils only. Slowly bring your awareness back up, relax your fingers, palms, wrists, elbows, upper arms, underarms, shoulders. Relax your chest, upper back, lower back, stomach, hips and glutes. Thighs, hamstrings, knees, backs of your knees, shin bones, calf muscles, ankles, feet and your toes. Complete relaxation. You, your mind and body in total union through your breathing. Slowly bring your awareness back up, relax your toes, heels, ankles, shin bones, calf muscles, knees, backs of your knees, thighs, hamstrings, hips and glutes, stomach, lower back, upper back, relax your chest, your shoulders, neck and throat. Soften your facial muscles, chin, cheeks, jaws, eyes, eyebrows, space between eyebrows, forehead and the top of your head. Keeping your awareness there, gently bring your knees in your chest, one at a time, no rush, no jerks. Hug your knees, wiggle your toes, awaken yourself from that relaxed state. Rock your body forward and back, roll it side to side. Make knee circles in each direction, alternate these moves at your own pace, front and back, side to side, circling whichever is right for you. Or open your legs into a happy baby, dead bug. Keep alternating at your own pace. I thank you all for joining me in this practice. Please thank yourself and everybody here
for taking this time out to be here, for sharing positive energy and your practice with everybody. Please join me in sending our goodwill out to the world. May there be peace, happiness, health, love, laughter and freedom to enjoy it all for everybody, everywhere. Roll gently to your right. Then to your left. From your left, come up to the sitting upright position. Sit upon your block. A lot of weight bearing work today with the legs and arms. Standing balances, arm balances, excellent for bone density, core strength, reversing your age. Nobody is getting older here, right? So stay there. We're going to do the Agnisar or stoking the fire in the belly. Inhale, let the stomach relax. As you exhale, you keep the breath outside and just pulse the belly button in and out like you're hammering that belly button on your front wall of the body or on the spinal column. So inhale, exhale, draw the navel in, keep your breath outside, not breathing in and out, but just pulse the belly button. The whole time your breath is held outside, but if you want to inhale, you can stop this pulsing action, relax the stomach, then inhale. Another cycle. Exhale, draw the stomach in, keep the breath outside, pulse your belly button. Not moving your shoulders, not moving your chest. So stabilize the rest of the body and just focus on the belly button. This is the original source of energy, core center. This is where we were connected with our moms in the wombs. So activate this core center. In fact, activate it in every breath, in every exhale. When you draw the stomach in, you're activating that core center, supporting your lower back. So make it a conscious breath, every single breath, not just the breath when you are here on the mat. And take your break when you need to. Resume your normal diaphragmatic breathing at your own pace. Index fingers, thumbs together, palms facing the sky, eyes closed, gaze between eyebrows. Awareness either at your diaphragm or your nostrils or your navel center, wherever you see your breath. And follow your breath in and out. I will meditate upon 5 elements today. First element is earth. The whole world is made of these 5 elements, including we. Each of our bodies are exact replicas of the entire universe. So the earth element in our body is the bones, muscles. Our food body is all the earth element. It comes from the earth, goes back to the earth. Next element is water. More than 70% of our planet is water, and we are here. Life is here on this planet because of water. And same thing in our body, more than 70% of our cells are all water. Next element is fire. We need 3 fires to survive. Fire of the sun, fire of the food that we cook with, and then fire inside our belly, the digestive fire that converts the food that we consume into energy. All these 3 fires are important for carrying our life forward. They are our energy source. The next element is the wind, Vayu, air. And again, it's our breath that keeps us alive. We all breathe in the same air, let out that same air. It's prana, that's flowing inside of our body is the energy force. Our breath is manifestation of our prana. And the fifth element is the sky, the space, the ether. We all exist in space, nothing exists in vacuum. In our body, this element is all around our joints. If we don't have space, we'll not have the freedom of movement, we'll be all constricted, our joints will be fused together, restricting our movement. That's why important, through this stretching we keep this space around our joints to facilitate our efficient movement and also maintain this healthy space around us, keeping negative energy away, maintaining positive healthy boundaries where we can survive, thrive, exist peacefully and let others exist. It's important for everybody to have their own space. Respect your boundaries for yourself, for others. Remain thankful for all these 5 elements, Pancha Tattvas, Pancha Mahabhutas, and the 6th Tattva, 6th element is your own Atma, Jivatma, that allows you to experience this life. Whenever you are ready to finish this practice, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers in the back. Exhale, bow down to Mother Earth for all the kindness. Inhale as you come up to thank the sun for the energy and the light. One more exhale down, being thankful for everything we have and everything we don't have. Inhale up. One last exhale down in gesture of a yogi. Forgive as you go down. Forget as you come up. And we are done. Namaste. Thank you so much. And let's do our laughter. So remove your block. And just reach for something with your hand, like a problem that's bothering you. Pick it up and throw it out. Maybe it's your coronavirus problem or anything else that's bothering you. Sometimes it's as easy as literally picking it, throwing it out. We are so attached to our own miseries, pains, because we develop kind of a sense of comfort with them. So if you want to let them go, you have to literally throw them out. So let's do the other side. Take a deep breath in. So whatever is not needed, let it go. You don't need it. Stay there just a bit longer. Keep that smile in your face. Keep expressing your inner joy for no reason on the outside. Stay happy, healthy, kind, be well. Take care of yourself, love yourself, appreciate yourself. Extend it to others. Now we are done. Namaste. Have a great time ahead. Thank you. And feel free to share your thoughts, feedback.
It's getting better for me.
Okay.
Definitely. Yes.
That's good. Excellent.
Thank you. Videsh, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I use this block, I don't know if I got a little big sized or something. So whenever I put it between my thighs, this part hurts. It like strains, but it's like okay, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But it feels very stiff in the back when I'm like holding this. Is it normal or?
No, I think you have the bigger one. Did you buy the cork one? Is it heavier? Yeah, I think the foam block is because it is lighter. So maybe when you are holding it between the legs, maybe you should hold the cushion. Don't hold the block at that. Block is, I think this width is also a little too much.
Yeah, it's big too, right?
Yeah, so it is. I think it's almost 4 inches probably. So it's better to have like a foam block, especially when you are holding between the thighs. But otherwise, it is good because sometimes we do stand on the block like
When you
this
put your
for the
weight on it,
standing
yeah.
balance. So that time that block will work great because foam block people will be this and you will be like standing firmly. So
Okay.
everything has its
Yeah.
own purpose.
Probably I'll try. I'll get that one.
Yeah.
Weight bearing was hard.
Oh, what was hard?
Weight bearing today with the arms.
Oh,
because
you're
going
bearing,
on
yeah,
the
because
floor
with
was
your
a bit
shoulder,
hard.
right. But again, the more you do this weight bearing work, the stronger these muscles are, the more they are going to support your joints. So your shoulder joints will be supported by stronger arms. So it's important that we do the weight bearing work in every class one way or other, something. So to strengthen those shoulders, and of course that supports the back.
Right.
They're all connected. Nothing works in isolation.
Right.
All right. Yes.
I also want to ask one thing. Of course, food is also important part in your body. So, what do you suggest after having all those 1 hour like yoga? What kind of breakfast or what kind of things you take?
It's because I don't do anything store bought, so we don't have ready-made cereals or things. So if you can, I have a milk cooker. What I do is in the milk I put the whole grains like steel cut oats or quinoa, millets, amaranth, cracked wheat, rice, everything, all the grains, and we cook it in the milk. So it's our fresh, hot grain cereal every day. And we also put nuts in those like almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, flax meal. So it's a lot of ingredients. We put spices like turmeric and cinnamon and cardamom. No sugar, no sweeteners, no fruits or anything, just all these grains in the milk with spices. That is a big bowl of this. This is our breakfast. So because when you eat this kind of whole grains, they stay in the body longer and you feel less hungry right away. So it keeps you satiated longer, and it takes longer time for your body to break it down. If you eat something like cereals, it gets absorbed in the body fast, or like a toast or paratha or anything, any processed food, and then you feel hungry again right after that. So this is the breakfast that I do. I mean my family and I eat every other day. So for my family I cook every day, but I eat only every other day. So if you can incorporate that one big bowl, and then later instead of eating granola or anything, eat whole nuts, because granolas and all those bars, they have all these hydrogenated oils and corn syrup and all those sweeteners that are harmful for the body. They lead to problems like thyroid and diabetes. And even though we think, oh, we are eating healthy, nutritious bar, but they are all commercially manufactured and they're meant to be addicting. They want you to come and buy those products again and again. So if you can eliminate those products that are made commercially and eat the whole ingredients, those will be better. And whole fruits instead of juice. So if you can eat a whole fruit, some nuts, the closer you eat to the natural form, minimum processing, no baking, no frying if possible, because anytime you're baking, you're doing it at high temperature, and it's adding too many sugars and too many of all those other ingredients that again rob you out of the actual nutrients. And I know it might seem like a lot to make all these changes right away, but if you can start with one thing, like eating nuts instead of granola bars, or eating fruits instead of juices, or eating more of these whole cooked grains instead of cereal. Start somewhere, and people ask me, oh, after I make all these changes, when can I go back to eating my normal thing? I'm like, no, this is your permanent change. It's not, this is going to be the new normal. If you want to make it a healthy change, it has to be your everyday life. It cannot be, oh, when can I go back? So this is not like you're doing something to punish yourself or torture. It should be an act of self-love, because I'm doing this because I love myself more than any other food in the world, that I know if it's harmful for me, I'm not going to eat it, and I'm not going to give it to my family also. It's as simple as that. But I know it's easier said than done. So, okay, I don't know if I answered your question.
I agree with you. The food should be closer to the nature of process, and
Okay,
So almond milk.
so what do you make for breakfast otherwise?
Actually, I've gone that just nowadays. So I just try to have a tea or just toast with it, or sometimes maybe something I make something like poha or maybe upma, something like
Yeah,
that.
so if you are making poha and upma, I'll suggest like soak our black chana or moong or mot bicaren in the overnight, and then you can steam cook those or add those to the poha and chana to make it healthier. Because otherwise poha and upma is just carbs. So you always add protein to your carbs to make it a whole meal. So instead of usually we make poha upma just with onion and potato, and those are not again healthy. They are very high glycemic index food. They are grown underground. They are the food supply for the plant, so they are very high in sugar. So eliminate if you can, and that is also tamasic food. So to eat more sattvic food is better that if you eat something that grows farthest from the earth. So more like fruits, more beans, more like chana and all those kinds of things that grow up, because that's where that plant's full potential is expressed through that. Instead of eating the root supply of the plant, the food supply of the plant, you eat what the plant is actually giving you as their perfected food. And so if you can soak all those in the night, one grain every night, and then add it to your poha, upma, or whatever you're doing, that will make it a lot more nutritious than regular.
Yeah, I think food is the part where I have to work a lot.
Yes. That's my next project, adding some food videos.
Yeah, sure. I would love to. Yes.
No, but this is a really good idea. I didn't realize you can add moong and chana in the upma and stuff.
Yeah, you can add those, and you can add even like flaxseed meal to those pohas, upma. Make it a little more adding little this healthier fats, good fats. You can add sesame to those things in upma, I think the brown sesame. So again, adding these whole ingredients and natural ingredients that you can actually see and name. When you see a packaged food, there are more than half ingredients are all chemicals. Like you have never even seen those, you have never heard of those. And if you buy that chemical just in the store, you're not going to be able to consume it. So they just use these chemicals to bind the foods together in some way or other, which is not good for our body. So just
we usually buy those sprouted millet breads. We don't buy the normal breads, so we buy the sprouted millet breads.
But
It's not as bad.
whatever bread you use, it is still highly processed and it's highly baked at a high nutrient. Even though they claim, oh, this is healthy, 10 grain, this, that, sprouted grain, don't fall for it. Just sprout your own grains and then cook them and eat those. So that is better than eating this processed breads and all these cookies and pastries and all those. It is not good no matter how health claim they make for it. So
I like to add something to the group. I've read, I do read a lot about nutrition because I know that I want to put a thing that is not harming my body. So anything that you buy has written nutritional guidelines on the food package. Do not buy those. Just buy which has nothing written on it. So that's the best thing. So, nature produce anything which is fresh, buy those and consume as much as fresh you can instead of cooking. And the whole kind of like Vidya is saying, I think I have started, following that guidelines and it has helped me quite a bit. Changing the lifestyle is not easy, but you can do step by step, little by little every day, and probably it will help you guys. I think my family knows that I'm health freak. So my husband is a health freak too. You all sound like my husband, so.
yeah, I think eventually we are all getting more and more aware of these things, because all this time our this commercial food manufacturers fed our brains with all these advertisements and everything. It's the shareholder, they're serving their shareholders, they're not serving you. We think, oh, they are making this healthy food for me. No, they are making it so they can make more profits and sell it with the name of health conscious, this, that.
But as you learn, because if I'm telling you this, I'm not making any money out of this, so people have less ways of getting this message out. So we need to talk more about this and tell our families this, that we need to eat healthy for ourselves. We are not going to eat for making money for somebody else. So we have to get these messages out. So thank you for asking that question.
Thank you. I'm looking forward for your cooking videos.
Okay. All right, so we'll see you there, and please feel free to share yours too, because I know we all have these healthy recipes or healthy food that we make, and what differently you can make something now. You can always put our own twist. India especially has such a wide range of cooking in different regions, and we all have healthy ways that even though they were not considered healthy, but our grandmas and moms cooked traditionally, they were actually really good because they were locally sourced ingredients and they were made in the season, and of course fresh, and of course when they did all that, they got their exercise from that itself, right? They didn't have to add another exercise in their daily work. So if you can do a little bit more natural, I think we'll go closer to the nature friendly way of living and healthier way of living. All right.
Okay,
So, namaste, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good day.
Have a good day.